That's coming up, the pay-per-view here on BBC Radio Kent. First of all, we've been asking you this morning, should CCTV be compulsory in care homes to prevent abuse and neglect? The former Attorney General, the MP Dominic Grieve, thinks it should be. We spoke to him earlier. He said it should be mandatory in communal areas to drive up standards. Lots of you getting in touch on this one. Madeline makes this point from Broadstairs. My mother was in a nursing home for years and her care was good. We need to look to those who don't get family visits. They need protecting.
And Denise in Westgate on Sea says the care industry is alive. The hard-working carers are on minimum wage, whilst those who own the care homes are driving around in luxury cars and living very well. They are only in it for the money, says Denise.
And I suppose the thing is that, yes, most people who work in care homes are honest and they do it because they care. You know, that's why they take up the job. It's just for those incidents. And Steve, I think I started at 6 o'clock this morning thinking, no, we shouldn't have it because people work hard there and it's a bit of an affront to them. You know, if we say you're not doing your job properly or you might be abusing staff. No. On
that point, though, the idea of, I don't want to work if there's CCTV in my place of work. Well, then petrol stations, train stations, so many places people work with CCTV watching.
But they're public spaces, aren't they? There's much more passing traffic there. Not just traffic, but, you know, footfall as well. It's not like having it. We haven't got it like inside BBC Radio Kent, or have we? I don't think we have. But actually, I think I might be changing my mind on this one because the point was made earlier by, I think it was Jane that we spoke to, and said, but actually this protects staff. You know, if there's a fall and someone ends up bruised and they say, abusing this person, you say, no, look, you can see the CCTV thing. You know, they actually just slipped here. It wasn't my fault. So there is an argument for it. What do you think? We went to Folkestone to ask people there if they thought CCTV should be mandatory.
I think it's a good thing. You know, if you'd asked me a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have said no, it is an invasion of privacy. But I think now, with there's so many old people have been abused, you know, I think it will protect a lot of vulnerable, not just old people, but vulnerable people as well, because there's young people in care homes.
If you're in a care home, you've actually got to the point where you actually can't care for yourself or you can't look after yourself. Where's the dignity and the privacy for that person that's being cared for?
I suppose it would help protect some people because there's a lot of bad things go on now, don't they? But, yes, it is an invasion of privacy in some respect, isn't it?
Keep your thoughts coming in on that one, 81333. Start your message with the word Kent on the text there. The Minister for Care, Caroline Dinage, says it's up to care homes themselves to decide whether to use cameras. The government at this stage won't make it compulsory in all homes. We can talk now to Ben Wilson, the Business Development Manager of Care Protect, which is a monitoring system itself. It's put into care homes and hospitals across Kent and the rest of the country as well. So, Ben, do you think that recently, given the fact that this has become a debate around, how we protect our most vulnerable, demand has gone up from your side?
I think I would actually agree on that point. I mean, the debate itself has been ongoing for a number of years, but it's really just come to a head now, and it's really followed on from some of the larger scale scandals, such as the Winterbourne View scandal and things like that. But as well as that, you know, you've heard yourself this morning that there's overwhelming public support for this kind of initiative, but it's also important to know that this isn't a CCTV system as such, but an intelligent camera system that can pick up a lot more than just abuse. We can monitor falls risks, that kind of thing. So it's important that's taken into account as well. You know.
What can you explain to me what exactly the difference is then? What makes it more than CCTV?
Okay, well, I mean, a closed-circuit television system is what you would imagine in the likes of your local shopping centre, but it's a lot more complex than that, and there's embedded intelligent software on these systems. And as well as that, then we're looking specifically at the storage of that information. So it's stored off-site, it's stored on military-grade cloud servers, and the only people who have access to it are our team of healthcare professionals who are nurses, social workers by background, and we've put security industry authority licensing in place as well for them to view this kind of footage.
I think that might reassure a lot of people, actually, when it comes to privacy and how this information is stored. But how do your team then get flagged up if say there was a fall in a care home?
Yes.
How would you know about that?
Well, we can set up those cameras to be motion detectors, for example, so we can create virtual bed rails using motion windows on the cameras. That can all be done remotely. So if that resident was a falls risk, or if there was a high level of suspicion around that particular residence, for example, whether it's abuse or something else, Whenever that camera is then triggered by movement inside those motion windows, one of our team will get alerted. They can immediately review that footage and triage it, so to speak. And if there is something malevolent occurring, they can ring through to the provider immediately, or send, if it's not quite as serious, it can come through in the form of a monthly report then to that provider as well. So almost an external quality assurance toolkit.
I suppose the worry then would be if you're alerted to something and you call the provider, presumably the care home, if they're trying to cover something up, they'll say, "Oh, yeah, we'll take that very seriously," and then not act on that.
No, absolutely, and that was the original sort of worry, I suppose. But we have an escalation system in place as well, both internally and as well our team also have a duty of candour. So if they witness something of a very serious nature and we feel that that's not being taken seriously by a provider, then it can be escalated. That's never happened because with footage, it's very difficult to argue against that point. And, it can be escalated then to maybe regional management level if it's not dealt with as well. So there are measures put in place to ensure that it is acted upon.
Ben, thank you. Ben Wilson is the Business Development Manager of Care Protect, a monitoring system put into care homes and hospitals across Kent. And I think that's answered a lot of questions for me, actually, about how it works. I didn't realise how it was different to CCTV, really, and how it was monitored off-site and how it was motion sensitive and all of that. I guess the technology is such that actually it can answer a lot of the qualms that you might have about it in the first place, about the sensitivity of the data.
Part of this, and again, this is with a worry that I have with my parents being at home, especially mum, because she is more vulnerable. You think that if it's staff getting angry and that's where the abuse happens, then this system can work. But if you've got someone who is truly a bad apple and they will know where the CCTV is, you do worry that then if they know that there's CCTV blind spots, then if they are going to act inappropriately, that is where they'll do it.
Yeah, I suppose the argument is that's very calculated, and I'm sure some people are calculated. Very few, to be fair.
Yeah. That should be vetted out by the staffing, actually.
It should be.
Yeah.
And also, if people are going to behave badly, it won't be long before they slip up and they do it in a public space, surely, and then it can be picked up on. It's difficult, though, because the only solution to that, as I can see it, is putting those CCTV cameras everywhere. The cameras everywhere. If they're in rooms, surely that is then an invasion of privacy, because you wouldn't want a camera in your bedroom, would you, Steve?
Not in mine, but you know what? In Mum's room, I don't know, because she won't have that sense of... The only one who would be upset by an invasion of privacy would be me, not her, because she wouldn't know that invasion of privacy is happening.
She might not, but that makes it even unfairer.
I want her to be safe more than I worry about her invasion of privacy.
But why
possibly.
do you worry that she's unsafe?
Because you read one story of something happening in a care home and then it's in your mind and you fear for it for your own parents.
What do you think? Give us a